The return of Kyle Orton as the Bears quarterback. Third year out of Purdue. Fourth-round draft pick in 2005. We are 2 weeks shy of the 2-year anniversary of his last start. Final game of the 05 season. As a rookie, he came in when Rex Grossman was hurt in the preseason and led the Bears to a 10-5 record. Officially marked at the 41, Orton to the air. Adrian Peterson out of the backfield. Gain of 5, shown the sideline by Chad Greenway. Past the 45. And Ron, what do you expect from Orton here tonight?
Well, he will manage the game. It's a term we always use, but the Bears do not want to turn the football over. You will see high percentage passing just like we saw. That was an either-or read for Kyle Orton. Either throw the button hook at about 10 yards down the field or dump it off to the back. The hook wasn't open. He dumped it off. 5-yard gain.
Vikings defense best in the league against the run. Bears will throw a lot tonight. Back to Peterson. Great open field tackle by Dwight Smith, who is starting tonight despite his misdemeanor citation for marijuana possession and obstructing traffic on Thursday night in downtown Minneapolis. Brad Childress, the coach, waiting for the full facts. He plays, not suspended or benched here tonight.
You asked what do we expect from Kyle Orton? I mean, let's be fair. He's third string behind Brian Griese and Rex Grossman. This is not exactly quarterback huge.
Yeah, but we've seen a lot of third stringers come in and play well, Tony.
Devin Hester in the game, 3rd and 5. His 7th run of the year. Hester tries to get to the edge. Open field tackle. Antoine Winfield. 3 and out for the Bears. Getting the ball from Tavares Jackson, the second-year quarterback out of Alabama State. From the 7, Peterson runs right for about 5.5 yards. Israel Idonije gets the start at nose tackle, maiden tackle. So many people a part of this. The left side of the offensive line, very good. The fullback, Tony Richardson. Jackson's throw is caught and then didn't hit the ground into the waiting arms of Urlacher. And Brian Urlacher will give the Bears a possession in the red zone. It is the 21st turnover of the season for the Vikings. Robert Ferguson could not hang on.
Do you remember last year how the Bears won games? That was the way they won games. They made defensive turnovers very often, resulting in touchdowns on the spot, but certainly within the next series or so. That's what was missing this year. They had 44 takeaways last year, only 24 this year.
Right away. And Orton with a deep drop. Throwing for the end zone. Incomplete for Greg Olsen, the tight end, who was looking for the flag on Winfield. Flag picked up after it was thrown. 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 back. Orton's throw is complete. Just to the 15-yard line. Like you said, Jaws, spot those tight ends. It was Desmond Clark. Here's Muhsin Muhammad, the wide receiver, with the Bears offensive starter.
Starting for the Chicago Bears on Monday night, on the ends we have John Tate and Fred Miller. Down the middle is the Hawaiian heartthrob, Olin Cruz. At quarterback, we have Kyle Orton. On one side, Bernard Berrien playing wide receiver. We call him B twice. And in the backfield, the other AP, Adrian Peterson, all-purpose. At tight end, we have Desmond, the real deal, Clark.
It's 3rd and 11. Hester plays offense for the second snap tonight. Similar formation to the run play he had before. Orton steps up to the tight end. Clark going to be stopped. Arch Peterson, I beg your pardon, stopped by Cedric Griffin. And in field goal range, Chicago will try to get on the board. Bobby Wade in motion. The former Bear. And from the 12, it's Jackson. Hit as he throws, and it's caught by Wade, who's touched down at the 17-yard line. Brian Urlacher, who had the pick, comes right at Jackson, who, with 3 injuries, missed 4 starts this year. Off the gain of 5, here goes Peterson. Put his shoulder down into Daniel Manning, has the first down. I guess when in doubt, give it to 29, right? Or 28, Taylor or Peterson. Throw to Bobby Wade, complete. First down as he is tackled in the secondary by Daniel Manning. A good throw. Let's see the defense he's going up against tonight. Adewale Ogunleye, defensive end, Bears, takes care of the intros.
On the defensive line, we have Tommy Harris, defensive tackle, the real deal. At right end, there's Mark Anderson. In the linebacker crew, one of the best in the league, we have Brian Urlacher and Lance Briggs. In the secondary, will be led by Peanut Tillman, and hard-end safeties Daniel Manning and Brandon McGowan.
Couple of good back-to-back gains for the Vikings. Peterson runs toward the left, and the Bears going to attack him. The initial surge by Tommy Harris, the tackle credited to Hunter Hillemeyer, and just a gain of a couple for Peterson.
Vikings are in this game, but it's clear the Bears have committed to 8 defenders in the box. You'll see Brandon McGowan, number 36, lining up almost as a linebacker with Daniel Manning deep as a single safety. When you get those isolation routes on the outside, you throw the play action pass, as we saw 2 plays ago, they will be available all evening.
Peterson comes out. Chester Taylor, averaging 5 yards per carry, checks in. Man who had 1,200 yards last year for Minnesota. And behind Tony Richardson, Taylor tries to go to the right. And he squirms forward to just the 44-yard line. We'll have a third and about 3 coming up. And we just saw the lineups of the Bears. We should point out they have been ravaged at the defensive tackle spot. So much so that Jimmy Kennedy, who was signed by the team this week, the guy who played for Lovie Smith in St. Louis, has been in the lineup the last couple of plays and just came out.
They're signing guys off the street. Jaws is so big, I thought he might be signed on his way into the Metrodome.
Oh, that one hurt.
I thought,
man, I'm on a weight loss program.
I meant big in the good sense, Jaws. In the good sense.
Oh, okay.
Big and strong.
3rd and 4. Jackson swinging it out. First down to the 40-yard line for Peterson. Is strong of hand and of body.
Goodbye, metacarpals.
He's out. Taylor's in. Play action. Jackson throws to Wade. Sliding down at the 21. Beautiful drive working here for Minnesota. A gain of 18, and Urlacher the tackle.
A quarterback's best friend is the running game. The Vikings have been running the football. That sets up the play action. You'll see once a quarterback can extend that ball and freeze the linebackers, big voids in the secondary. Nice throw from Tavares Jackson. Big gain for the Minnesota Vikings. Boy, that play action game is so good when it works like that. A quarterback just looks downfield and sees big holes in the defense.
Jackson's hit all 4 on this drive. Adrian Peterson, shoe back on, back in the lineup. Fumble. And Urlacher comes up with his 2nd turnover of the game.
It's what they didn't have at all last year. Now in the first quarter, they've got it twice.
And then Adrian Peterson, what happened here?
Yeah, there's no question Adrian Peterson is reaching for the ball. You got to keep the elbow up on the side of the quarterback so he can insert that. You see Brad telling it, keep that elbow up, allow the quarterback to seat the ball, then clamp down. Adrian Peterson is clamping down a tad early.
Nonetheless, the fumble is credited to Jackson, last man who possessed the ball. His 3rd on the year. Kyle Orton, the Bears' starting quarterback, to Adrian Peterson, the other one. A gain of about 5 yards. So in this season of struggle for the Chicago Bears, Brian Urlacher, who was very honest about the failures of this team this season and pinning it right on the players who represented the NFC in the Super Bowl. He got the deflection for the interception, the pressure on Jackson at the start of the 2nd drive, and when Adrian Peterson does a bad job of opening up the gate to let the ball in, Urlacher falls on it. First time he's had a pick and a fumble recovery in 6 years. 2nd down run for Peterson. He's the starter because of the injury to Cedric Benson. About 1.5 yards shy of the first down. We'll have 3rd down coming up.
Let's go back to Urlacher for a second with a direct quote. You give Urlacher a chance. People say you have a bad back. Is that the reason the year hasn't been so good? He says, it's not my back. I haven't played as well this year. I haven't made plays. We haven't made plays. It's the players. We take responsibility. And you don't hear that often. You hear injuries. You hear coaching changes. You hear any number of things. Brian Urlacher said, it's us.
He's a man.
3rd and 1. Play action with Orton. His tight end couldn't get off the line of scrimmage. He had to throw it away. Desmond Clark, the tight end, could not get off the block. He's begging for a holding call. That's why it looks so easy. Now there's a conversation. He's on the sidelines. It's Chester Taylor. Leads the Vikings out for their 3rd drive. They've turned it over the first 2 times. Number 36, Peterson cuts it back gain of about 5.5. Brandon McGowan the tackle. For 201 was that turnover, or really 201 was the gain before the turnover. That was Jackson's credited turnover. A run of about 3 or so for Taylor. Urlacher in there once again. Asante Shanko, the tight end, splits himself wide to the right. And Jackson gets it out to Tony Richardson, the fullback who spent many years blocking for good running backs in Kansas City. Think of Larry Johnson and Priest Holmes. He cleared the way for Chester Taylor's big season last year, his 9th reception of the year. It's been all Chester Taylor on this drive in the shotgun next to Jackson. The Bears rush 4, and Jackson throws incomplete. They wanted the flag on Nathan Vasher, feeling like he had a hand on Jeff Dugan, the fullback / tight end. Garrett Wolf is in the game, the rookie running back out of Northern Illinois. 5'7", speedster. Loss of 2 into the massive arms of Kevin Williams, along with Pat Williams on that defensive front. Maybe the best tackle combo in the NFL.
Garrett Wolf disappeared. You said 5'7". He was 2'7" at that point as he gets wrapped up.
Forget it, guys.
Goodbye.
You are not running inside.
Bye.
Pat Williams and Kevin Williams combined for 108 tackles this year. That's a huge amount for defensive tackles. You will not move those big loads inside.
Curious here that you go away from Adrian Peterson, a larger back for the Bears, and go to the small back, Wolf, inside your own 3. Officially marked at the 2. Orton from his own end zone. 3rd down.
Maybe they thought by going to a really small running back that would surprise the Vikings. They wouldn't see him. Maybe they felt it was deceptive in that regard. They'd say to themselves, why would you go to a small running back? Let's forget he's out there.
You know, the Minnesota Vikings are a very good blitzing team. On that 2nd down, they came with the blitz. They're using Ben Lieber as kind of their pass rusher. But when they blitz, the quarterback rating against them is only 66. That is a good blitzing defense.
Run, Peterson. 1 yard, E.J. Henderson tackled. 4th down.
Do they want him back? Would he want to come back?
Adrian Peterson back in the game. Vikings from the 38 get it back to Peterson. And a good rush off the edge by Alex Brown, the defensive end out of Florida, with a 2nd and 9 for the Vikings. And Adrian Peterson, who is a marked man again here tonight. Brandon McGowan with the tackle. And Tavares Jackson, 4-man rush. Felt it, got it out to Taylor, spin in the open field. Can't fool Charles Tillman, Peanut as he's known by his teammates, on the final snap of the game. Kyle Orton takes over from the 13. And Orton's throw is almost intercepted. Antoine Winfield covering Bernard Berrien. We talked about Orton getting the start for the first time in almost 2 years after Rex Grossman was injured against the Redskins, partially torn medial collateral ligament in his knee. Brian Greasy, who has started 7 times this year, came in relief that game. But Grossman, who has been injured a lot, the finger, the ankle, and the knee, has not put up the good numbers. Greasy was okay as a starter, 3 and 4 this year, but now it's Orton's turn one more time. Garrett Wolf, speed to the edge. E.J. Henderson grabs him, gain the 3, 3rd and 7 coming up. Tony, you talked about the quarterback position in Chicago and what a historic struggle it's been. Go back to Jim McMahon making a Pro Bowl trip to 85. Since that journey to Honolulu,
who are these guys?
21 different quarterbacks have started for the Bears.
Did I see Will Ferrell's name in there at one point? And then he went on to the movie career?
It was Will Fuhrer, the former Tech quarterback.
This is Chicago's where quarterbacks go to die. It's just terrible to be a quarterback in Chicago. Sid Luckman, the greatest of all time, before they had color photography. When you see his picture.
Throw to Hester. Devin goes up, didn't get the 2nd foot down. Was it a push out? Yes, push out and a catch for Hester. 1st down at the 30.
I like that. Any golf courses over there?
Not in January. They're there in January, but they're not usable. From 37, Jackson. Good throw to Schenko. The tight end couldn't hang on. Jackson was being pressured by Hunter Hillemeyer. Here's from Brian Billick's offense. They came in last year, had the big season. He had the 101-yard game last week against the Niners. Jackson hit as he threw, but able to complete it with a marker down at the spot of the quarterback. Let's see if he got roughed by Lance Briggs. Picks up the penalty. The play and the flag mean 33 yards for the Vikings. And Adrian Peterson left. Cannot climb through the tackle. Gain of a yard. SportsCenter 30-30. John Anderson. Quick action by the league and the correct action too. From the 28, Jackson. Richardson second catch. The fullback. Big hit there by Peanut Charles Tillman. A gain of 4.
Either throw it here or throw it there. Very simple.
Taylor the back. 3rd and 6. Bears bring heat. Jackson just couldn't get it to Sidney Rice, the rookie out of South Carolina. Adewale Ogunleye made him just get uncomfortable in the pocket. And we'll see about a 46-yard field goal attempt for the Vikings. Field position in the National Football League because of Devin Hester. Returns, more people kicking out of bounds. Second best in the league at 34. Longwell, it's a line drive, and it does not get all the way back to Hester. Rasheed Davis got a hand on it, and Davis down the sideline, past Longwell, into the 45-yard line.
The split kicking's not working real good.
Well, it's great design by the Bears to have somebody like Davis, a receiver with good speed, to also, with good hands, be on the edge there.
What do you? They weren't good with a first or second string.
Yeah, I was going to say, that was their first and second last week.
Right.
Into the hands of Hester. One of the few playmakers going to try to run around the world here. Hester picked up a block. Got to the 40. A lot of running for a pickup of 11.
Here's what you need to do. You need to clone him immediately at halftime. And you need to put him out there at every single position, because it's tremendously exciting when he gets his hands on the ball, and it gives them a chance. It's probably the one chance they have to score is Hester.
You're right. That's about the best 11-yard run you're going to see.
From the 38, Orton to Adrian Peterson out of the backfield, a yard shy of the first down. Here's Susie.
You know, guys, on top of Hester wanting to be the greatest return man ever, he really wanted to play cornerback, and at first he was reluctant when coaches asked him about playing wide receiver, but they said, look, you know the impact you have when you touch the ball a few times in a game. Imagine if you can triple that. And coaches have said that he does have the potential to be a Pro Bowl receiver.
Well, Susie, they tried to sneak it on 3rd and a yard there, and it doesn't like Orton made any push toward the yellow line in the first down, trying to get a little sneak to get a yard. Jason McKee, the fullback. Orton, quick count, keep. Didn't move the pile very far. It's all going to depend where he ended up. The bottom of the pile, the ball was lying on the other side of the first down marker. He was on the field for 38 plays in the game in Washington 10 nights ago. 2nd and 1, this no-huddle. Peterson. How about unabated to the running back for Antoine Winfield? Nobody touched him off the corner. He dives in to make it 3rd and a yard.
An outstanding play by Antoine Winfield, coming down and just sealing the edge. This is a terrific job right here. Hester trying to block. He whiffs. Look at Winfield come inside and just make a picture-perfect tackle on Adrian Peterson.
Well, there you see some of the small things. You talk about why isn't he on the field more as a receiver? So you have to be complete in the game at that position. Winfield's going to cover Hester this time. Orton goes that way. Devin couldn't hang on. Incomplete. And let's see. From here, it's a 42 or 3-yard field goal.
A team together is better than just a few stars, even if they're tough guys.
The 16, Peterson. Brought down by Adewale Ogunleye. A loss of 3. It has been a big struggle for Peterson tonight. The Bears defense doing a good job.
So, not yours. Did people, when you were playing, did coaches come around like Childress and show you stuff like that and hand out popcorn and
absolutely.
to the movies?
I was very fortunate throughout my career to play for guys like Chuck Knox, Dick Vermeil, Don Shula, Marty Schottenheimer. They not only were football coaches from an X's and O's standpoint, they were motivators.
Were they naturalists, though? Did they bring in wild animals?
Not really. Naturally.
Peterson, 1 yard his last 5 carries. Finally able to get to the edge. They run past that good left side and gains about 7 yards on that one. Now, Brad Childress, this fits his personality. Brad, he really defines the term head coach, psychology major, very into the approach for players, the approach for this organization. And remember, when he came in here last year, he really had to clean the place up. The Vikings were rocked by the sex boat scandal, among other things. And he said year one was establishing law and order in these parts. And now this year, it's building upon that with this team. And part of it is their psychological motivation as a winning team. 4 in a row after starting 3 and 6. Quick drop, quick toss, complete for the first down. Just past the 30-yard line to Robert Ferguson. Like what some of the veterans told us, Michelle, that, hey, he's honest. And if you've been around in this league for a while, you like honesty. Flying saucer, the tight end. Gain of 25 and a first down. Daniel Manning makes the tackle.
And they built this team for the long haul. Everyone wants instantaneous results.
I know I
success.
do.
Here's the reverse Josh. Andre Alston, he's got one man over there on the edge. But a great job by Nathan Vasher coming up and cutting that play off. No gain. Good job by the corner who's missed the last 10 games for the Bears.
You know, and back to what Tony was talking about, I can't understand why players want coaches to come in. Oh, he's a really nice guy. We really like him. You know, that's what it's about. It's about building a football team for the long haul, bringing the character players in. It's not about, oh, the guy's my friend. Oh, we get along great.
You know what, Jaws? Sometimes you just have to switch. Everybody liked Mike Tice. They had to bring in a tougher guy because there were those scandals. Sometimes when this guy is too tough, then they bring in a nice guy.
What do you mean
to
too
get
tough?
the most out of people.
This is football. This is the toughest game in the world. It's about discipline.
Underneath, Dugan, the catch. Jeff's gain is only about 3 yards. Nathan Vasher and Lance Briggs making the tackle. Or third down coming up. The Vikings control their own destiny with these 4 wins in a row. Giants and Vikings still do that in the NFC. New Orleans and Washington sitting at 7-7, pulling hard for the Bears to win. Chicago, if they win, they stay alive. As a matter of fact, fans in Chicago, Philly, Detroit, and Arizona benefit if the Bears win tonight. If not, the Bears, Eagles, Lions, and Cardinals would be eliminated. Wow. With a Viking win tonight. 3rd and 7, Chester Taylor's the back. 7 in coverage. Swing out of the backfield. Taylor couldn't hang on. And this Bears defense continues to do a good job. Mark Bradley, one of the 3 receivers. Orton out of the gun. Kyle's throw is caught by Bernard Berrien. Made a nice move on the sideline. Winfield the tackle. To the 16, a pickup of 7 yards. Berrien the top pass catcher on this team this year. Well, the Bears last year to this year, their offense, largest scoring decline in the league. Points allowed per game, their defense, 4th largest increase in the league. So things have flipped on both sides of the ball. And the ball's on the ground on that snap. But I believe Orton gets back on it before Spencer Johnson could get there.
That looked like last year, didn't it?
That game yesterday.
Stop. Stop.
3rd and 5 for Orton. Peterson out of the backfield. Going to get away from E.J. Henderson. First down at the 25-yard line. Dwight Smith was there for the push-out. You know, we talk about the injuries to the quarterbacks. Cedric Benson had the season-ending ankle injury against Denver 3 weeks ago, forcing Peterson, really the 3rd down back for most of this season, and the 3rd running back last year when Thomas Jones was still here, into a starting role. Mark Bradley, 5th catch of the year. And the 2nd-round pick out of Oklahoma takes it near the 40-yard line and a first down. Pick up a 14. That's 2 first downs and 2 snaps for the Bears. Double their output of the first 28 minutes of this half. Screen, Peterson. Good job to get away from the first hit, but then cleaned up by Cedric Griffin off his right corner spot. Best looking drive of the night. After the Chicago called timeout, Orton almost hit as he throws, sending it deep for Berrien. It was like a punt, incomplete. Winfield back there in coverage. Jamie Mitchell pressuring the quarterback.
But in this drive, Mike, at least the Bears have flipped the field. They've started this drive at the 9-yard line. If it would have been a 3 and out, the Vikings would have had great field position. But they've moved the ball up here to the 44-yard line. Good job of keeping the ball away from the Vikings. If they do have to punt, the Vikings will have a long field.
Muhsin Muhammad Rashid Davis at the top of the screen. Orton throws high and incomplete. Intended for Muhammad. Antoine Winfield is really having a very big impact on the game tonight. Last week, as you saw the numbers against Peterson.
In other words, stay tuned, right, Mike?
Yes. Chester Taylor's the back for this 1-minute drive that is knocked down pass by Israel Idonije. You know, defensive tackle is it's like the guard. It's the unsexy position in the NFL. And Idonije is a defensive end by trade, sliding in to help here tonight. 2nd and 10, Jackson, a jump ball, awful throw. Nathan Vasher's first pick of the year. Vasher got a block. Vasher, Prancer, inside the 15. The Bears have it at the 13.
Mike, you are absolutely correct. It was a horrible throw and decision by Tavares Jackson. You can't make that throw in this situation. You can't make it at any time, but particularly with less than a minute to go in the first half. This is really a ball thrown up for grabs. The pocket collapses. He tries to throw it over Brian Urlacher. It was just a lollipop that was picked off by Vasher. Bad decision, bad throw.
Jackson, who had 2 interceptions his last 7 starts, has 2 in this half. And that one may have been just learn, take a sack. Sometimes it's a better play.
And throw it in the stands. Sometimes your best throws are incompletions.
The Bears have 2 timeouts and 43 seconds left from the 12. Handed the ball in the red zone for the 2nd time tonight. Orton gets pressured and throws complete to Muhammad, to the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago Bears. The Jackson pick turns into 6 with a Muhammad score, his 4th of the year. Vasher's the one who came up with the interception.
Muhsin Muhammad at 6'2", 215, gets inside, used the big body, and look at the location of the throw by Kyle Orton. Staring down the gun barrel. Good anticipation, puts the ball right on the belt buckle of Muhsin Muhammad. Excellent execution by the Chicago Bears.
Remember, they've been stopped multiple times in close. Jason McPhee, the fullback, takes care of business for a Bears touchdown. His 1st of the year, his first career rushing touchdown for the 6th-year man out of Temple.
Didn't he throw an interception?
A bad one in that, too.
Coming back in the last 30 seconds with the completion and then the second completion and the scramble that set up the field goal. Peterson is dumped in the backfield by Lance Briggs, a continuation, Ron, of Chicago's solid performance in the first half on the 7th overall pick in the draft.
Well, to stop Adrian Peterson, it's all about penetration. Here you got the 8 in the box. Here you got Adrian Peterson in the backfield. Here you got the fake reverse, but Alex Brown didn't go for it. Again, now you're going to see at Wally Agunli a penetration in the backfield making the play. You cannot let Adrian Peterson get started. The Bears are not.
As he did against the Bears at Soldier Field in Week 6. Jackson almost intercepted as he tried the slant for Ferguson, read by Charles Tillman, who almost had pick 3 of the year, and it is a struggle right now for the 2nd-year quarterback, Tavares Jackson.
It was a misread by Tavares Jackson. It was clear, double zone, 2 safeties deep, and the corner is able to jump the play, as Tillman does right there. Should have had the interception.
Jaws. You sell me on Adrian Peterson, you sell me on Tavares Jackson?
Okay.
Bears are used to winning games like this without offense. Minnesota's supposed to have an offense.
Quite honestly, I'm a bit surprised, Tony.
Okay.
3rd and 11, pressure coming from Briggs. And from Manning, but it's completed to Andre Allison, who stepped out of bounds. Only a gain of 3 yards. Jackson was lucky to get rid of it.
And expect them to do a lot more things with the passing game in the 2nd half. And I'm curious what Jaws thinks about that.
After the Bears' 8th flag, Peterson runs for a gain of about 5.
What we're seeing is offense being set back about 10 years on the performance of both teams here this evening.
There are Orton's numbers. Ron, what strengths, when you went back and looked at Kyle from 05 in the preseason, does he have to give him a chance as he steps into this job?
I thought he was really good at anticipating routes between the numbers, using the tight end, using the back out of the backfield. He was an erratic deep thrower, and we've seen that tonight. He doesn't have a strong enough arm to get the ball to the outside, but I think basically he is a caretaker-type quarterback.
On 2nd and 10, pressure, put it up in the air, incomplete. Orton never saw E.J. Henderson flying in back to his middle linebacker spot that he played well when he came in the league.
Well, E.J. Henderson has 3.5 sacks this season and 16 hurries. This will go down as a hurry, Tony.
I'm going to respectfully disagree with the notion that Kyle Orton's doing a great job managing this game. You see shots of Brian Greasy, shots of Rex Grossman. Chicago needs a quarterback. Tavares Jackson not doing well. Minnesota, the happiest guy in America right now, Donovan McNabb, whose name is always rumored to be on the way out of Philadelphia. Here are two teams he could go to and look awfully good.
He's still property of the Philadelphia Eagles, and all Donovan wants to do is win.
3rd and 10, blitz from the secondary. Orton gets rid of it. Incomplete, intended for Mark Bradley. 3 and out for the Bears.
Okay.
The 22-yard return is negated. Viking ball at their own 27. Looking for their first touchdown of the night. Urlacher comes through the gut and sacks Tavares Jackson.
Having a pretty good game, Urlacher.
No, phenomenal game. And Urlacher, tremendous diagnosis of the play and then anticipation. Right now, Jackson's got to hold the count. Let Peterson see that he's up there at the line of scrimmage to go up and make the block. This is terrific play by Brian Urlacher.
Urlacher, who has been to 6 Pro Bowls, once the Defensive Rookie of the Year, once the Defensive Player of the Year in the National Football League, and the face of this Bears franchise during the recent good run. Chester Taylor back in the game. Jackson's throw caught by Wade. He gets to the 28-yard line. 3rd and 8 coming up. Here's Susie again.
Well, you know, Tony talked about in the first half how Brian Urlacher wasn't going to use talk of an arthritic back as an excuse for not playing well this season. He said, sure, it's frustrating, but then he said there's nothing really wrong. Everybody's blown it out of proportion. But he is resigned to the fact that he will always have it in his back. There are some things he can do to calm it down, like physical therapy. But more than anything, he needs rest. That's not his style.
Well, the Bears are going to have it come the playoffs unless they make a miraculous finish here, win out and get a ton of help. They're doing the win part tonight. Jackson got rid of it. Caught. Robert Ferguson still going. Bears missed a tackle. Chased down, but cuts to the middle. And Ferguson will go all the way to the 1-yard line. With Adrian Peterson in the backfield. Got it. Peterson. Touchdown, Vikings. From the 32, Kyle Orton and the Bears. Their offense has done very little tonight. Orton sacked. A loss of 7 as Kenichi Udeze, the former #1 pick out of USC, was injured. They are working on him, so we have 6 officials right now. Peterson a run. Adrian got out of the first tackle. Gets 4 to the 29-yard line. We'll have 3rd and about 13 coming up 5 minutes into this 3rd quarter.
Hester split at the top of the screen.
Four-man rush. Stunt. Orton. Incomplete for Musa Muhammad. Udeze, who got his 5th sack of the year a moment ago, started on the end, loops inside. Our injured official, the field judge, has returned. So Craig Rolstad means we have 7 officials back on the field. Jackson looking for the deep shot down the middle. It is intercepted. Taken away by Brendan McGowan, who's brought down at the 48-yard line. That is 4 turnovers for the Vikings here tonight.
What was I saying about momentum? Jaws, we both thought it had shifted completely to Minnesota, and it is undone on the first play they have the ball back.
Jackson gives it right back to the Chicago Bears. They had a double move at the top of the screen. The pump. Corner didn't bite. He comes back to the seam way late. That's just asking for trouble right there. You see McGowan undercut it because it's late. If he doesn't make the pick, Charles Tillman might.
Last 4 games, Tavares Jackson, 4 touchdown passes, only 2 interceptions, got 2 already. 2 interceptions already.
3.
McGowan's 2nd pick, the other one at Lambeau Field this year. The gain for Adrian Peterson is just a yard to the 48-yard line.
Maybe we make too much of the 4 in a row. The first one was Oakland. The second was the Giants, a pretty good team. The 49ers are in there, not a very good team. The Lions sinking rapidly to being not a very good team. Maybe the 4 in a row is built on, on cheese.
It's 4 in a row. It's hard to win in the National Football League. Ask the Miami Dolphins. This is tough business. It's hard to win. I don't care who you play.
Hester at the bottom of the screen. Peterson runs to the left, and Adrian gets 2. the 43-yard line. And come back to that point we were talking about with their easier schedule. You have to take advantage of those if you're going to be a good team. But this is just a different level of game for these players, for Jackson and for Peterson. And let's not forget what we talked about at the very beginning. Division game, the Bears, this is their last shot. They're not going to take a standing 8. They're going to go down like the heavyweight Chicago Bears, like the NFC champs, swinging. Their offense may be swinging and missing, but the defense is still hitting.
Swinging and hitting.
3rd and 4. To Hester, bubble screen, no blocking, loss of 3. Or anything, period.
1st or 2nd down as well.
That's right. From the 22, Peterson runs into the waiting arms of Hunter Hillenmeyer. Just a game of a couple of yards. Right now, Jackson's having one of his toughest nights.
Yeah, and a head coach and a quarterback, it's a high draft choice. You are joined at the hip.
Peterson can't get anything going there. And some of the specifics of the quarterback for Brad Childress tonight.
Fundamentally and mechanically, right now, Jackson is not.
Chester Taylor's in. Bears bringing the heat. Getting to Jackson again. And again, it's Urlacher. Well, he hasn't had a good season, but the Pro Bowl teams come out tomorrow, and it's just a reminder that he can still play at that Honolulu level.
Well, Matt Burke right there sliding to his left just opens up the hole for Brian Urlacher, and there's just a breakdown in the communication and the scheme. Of course, you got to give the Bears some credit you could have for a decade.
1st down for Kyle Orton. Busting through the middle is Jamie Mitchell. And eventually the sack comes down with Pat Williams, but a penalty marker is down in the secondary. The old read my lips, no new taxes, right? Peterson up the middle. Gains about 1.5 yards. E.J. Henderson is there, and here's a marker coming in as things get to vintage Bears-Vikings late on the pile. Little punch from the side to 2nd and 1/4 of the field. Hester on the field, not a part of the play. Peterson underneath. Broke 2 tackles. Adrian Peterson for the Bears out of Georgia Southern takes it to the 40 and gains a lot of the penalty yardage back.
Great job by Kyle Orton, pressure in the pocket, extending the play, found Adrian Peterson, checked it down, and I guess about a 20-yard play right there. Good job by Orton. People around him, 18 yards on the play. Mike, you count a lot faster than I do.
3rd and 6 coming up. Inside handoff, Peterson keeps going, and you got a decision here. Just shy of the 34, looks to be a hair short of the 1st down. 0 for 3 on 3rd and 1, but they have converted 1, 4th and 1. Play action. McKee. Vikings take over. Sitting in Chicago,
I know what you're thinking, Mike.
Are you kidding me? This is the Bears. It's 4th and 1. Run the football.
They've had success this year, though, with the play action.
There goes Peterson into the secondary. Adrian Peterson's long run of the night. Gain of 15.
Mike, they've got to work that left side. This season, 6.26 yards per carry, running to the left side, to the right side, only 4.8 yards. On that left side, you got your hogs, your road graders, McKinney, Hutchinson, Burke. Hammer that left side. Enough said. They'll probably throw a pass here, it'll be intercepted.
I'm staying out of your way. You're going well.
I'm taking back some of my quarterback fraternity cards.
13 carries for Peterson, 41 yards. Vikings from midfield. Right back to him. The elusiveness you see there, but terrific pursuit. Charles Tillman and Nathan Vasher, the corners for the Bears tonight, have been outstanding. Tillman on that tackle.
And sometimes you have to take what is blocked. There were 4 or 5 yards there available for Adrian Peterson. He looked for the big play, bouncing to the outside. You'll see here, stretch play to the left. Hit it up in there. Get yourself 3 or 4 yards. No, he takes it back to the outside, where you have a lot of waiting people, and particularly Charles Tillman. Stay on schedule, Mike.
Chester Taylor in. Second and long, Taylor makes a couple of men miss. Israel Adonijah was waiting. Defensive end by trade, playing tackle tonight, would be eliminated. And of course, Washington comes in here to Minneapolis next Sunday evening. The quarter begins with 3rd and short, and Adrian Peterson stopped. Let's see the mark on forward progress. He is short, and we will have 4th down. 4th and a yard.
Well, you got a Matt Burke, run the quarterback sneak.
Jackson keeping, pushing forward, and got a bubble to get a 1st down. At the 38-yard line. Drive alive, and here's Michelle Tafoya. We're trying to stay alive in this playoff race. Jackson, Bobby Wade, caught it. Former Viking, former Bear, beg your pardon, just shy of the 20, a 19-yard 1st down game.
Mike, that throw is available all day long. Call it. 8 in the box. Go play action. Look at McGowan up there at the line of scrimmage. You got big old lanes to throw the football into. That's like 7-on-7. In other words, at practice when there are no linemen, that's easy.
Peterson's the back on 1st down. Adrian left side, waiting for a block. Got through 1. Got about 7 yards to the 13-yard line. Brandon McGowan in on the tackle. And the ability to run with Peterson like that helps set up what you mentioned earlier, Ron. Play action passes, the highest percentage thrown. Jackson, 10 over the league average and ahead of Breeze and Manning.
Yeah, and probably the number that we don't show there, you see the 29% play action. He is not really good at it. His quarterback rating is 74 out of the play action. The NFL average is 94. So although they use a lot of it, he's not proficient at it.
Line up with power. Jackson running to the 5. 1st and goal for the Vikings. McGowan with the tackle again.
This is the way they won those 4 games. By running the ball and passing only when it was available, not being a pass-first team, by running it right. Now, Adrian Peterson's not getting a lot of yards tonight, but the theory of the offense was this, and Tavares Jackson runs well and has run the entire year.
Nice job here. A little gimmick gadget play down here in the red zone. Tavares Jackson, the last 4 games, 90 yards rushing, so he can extend the play with his legs.
Ferguson and Wade go to the top. Peterson's the back on 1st and goal. Pressure from the Bears picked up. Peterson is brought down. Matt Torina comes in, the rookie out of Oregon, seeing rare action to this Minnesota drive. It's play 10 of a drive that started after the Bears were stopped on 4th and 1. 2nd and goal from the 8. And Jackson play action to Peterson. Nobody open in the end zone, just throwing it away as he got out of the tackle box. In game 9 of the season, in here on 3rd and goal from the 8. And they'll just run with Peterson, almost mess up the handoff, but Peterson scores! Bears trail for the first time tonight. Orton to Garrett Wolf, just had the holding penalty. Gets out of the McCauley tackle. Good gain of about 8, a couple of yards shy of the 1st down. Here's Susie Culver.
Well, Mike, it looked bad for quarterback Charles Tillman, but all encouraging now because it really took him a while just to even get to his feet after this big hit. He was helped off the field, and when he got to the sideline, he immediately fell to his knees and began throwing up. Maybe the product of a stomach problem, because I saw the same thing earlier in the game. They say he just had the wind knocked out of him, but he's been up on the sideline running around.
Tangled with Sidney Rice on that play. Gain of 9 on the screen to Wolf, the pass to Wolf. And now Garrett gets a full 1st down with Jamie Mitchell tackling. So we got both starting running backs, Adrian Peterson. Ziggy Wolf and the Wolf family own the Vikings. This is Garrett Wolf.
No relation.
No different
relation.
spelling.
That's right.
But confusing nonetheless.
That throw-up line on the sideline got me. That's the one I like. Do we have a camera on that?
That was just a comment on the quarterback play.
Susie's really working down there.
1st down for the Bears. From the 32, down 7, inside of 10 minutes. Kyle Orton complete. Bernard Berrien tried to shake free from Dwight Smith. Brought down at the 47-yard line. Back-to-back 1st downs for the Bears. A gain of 15.
Tony, the quarterbacks are heating up now.
That's good.
Just takes a little bit of time here in the Dome.
I have a statistic you'll like, by the way.
Yeah, I can imagine.
The Bears, 4 of their 5 wins, they were trailing at some point in the 4th quarter. So they do not quit. They have a chance to win the game still, which I know makes you happy.
Absolutely. We may have overtime.
That's not stretching.
Wolf remains the running back. Rookie, Northern Illinois. Picking up the blitz, did a nice job doing it. Here's Greg Olsen, rookie tight end out of the U, out of Miami. Gets to the 40-yard line, first down. And the Bears with their best offensive sequence of the night. Chad Greenway, the tackle.
And the Vikings came with their zone blitz that time, and they end up with Kenichi Udeze matched up on Greg Olsen. That's not a good matchup for the Vikings. So you see Udeze right there runs by him. Olsen takes it up the field.
After the first catch of the night for Olsen, Bears at the Viking 40. Right back to the air, screen set up, couldn't get to it. The pressure was coming, but the patience of Spencer Johnson to stand in the way of the running back, able to get it done.
Yeah, Spencer Johnson, a real nice job of reading his screen.
Well, we talk about the Bears and their offensive struggles tonight. There it is, 13 possessions, averaging only about 11 yards per possession.
That's not good.
9 first downs. 3 of them come here on this drive, and 7 of the 13 possessions have been 3 and outs.
The next report will be Lovie Smith vomiting on the sideline.
Just a lack of playmakers, really. Yeah. They just have a lack of playmakers. Devin Hester on the field. Here is the pass to Wolf. And the offensive line never sensed Cedric Griffin behind him. And the tackle is made for no gain.
Good punt.
Factors in your play calling. You may want to get 5 or 6 and then make a decision. Orton, pressure coming. It was picked up on the corner. Nobody's open. He throws incomplete down the middle. Orton, as he tried to stride into the pass. Kevin Williams.
For the future.
He's not in him.
Vikings have turned it over 4 times tonight. They start from their own 2. Peterson. Adrian Peterson explodes to the secondary. To the 29, 27 yards.
I am almost surprised he did not take that to the house. He had that little seam, and he has incredible acceleration. You know, my friend Merrill Hodge calls him the cash register because he makes the defense pay if you don't maintain your gap discipline.
It's the same building, the same field, and the same end on Monday Night Football a couple of decades ago when Tony Dorsett went 99.5 yards for the longest touchdown.
I think it was actually Tony Dorsett then. Then he became Tony Dorsett as the endorsements piled up.
19 carries, 80 yards, a couple of touchdowns for Peterson tonight. His carries coming late here, just a couple of yards. Michelle has more.
Well, Adrian Peterson told me that when he broke the single-season rushing record, 296 yards against San Diego, it was an incredible feeling. And when he looked back at the game film, he saw how the offensive line was making the accomplishment possible. So I asked, well, in the spirit of holiday giving, will you bestow gifts on your guys up front? And he said, if, and this is if I'm lucky enough to go to the Pro Bowl, I might just bring some of those guys with me. Although, Mike, some of those guys might get there on their own.
That's right. Steve Hutchinson, Matt Burke, multiple Pro Bowlers. Bryant McKinney's done a good job at the left tackle spot. After a gain of 2, Tavares Jackson to the air to Bobby Wade. Half a yard shy of the first down before 3rd and 1. SportsCenter 30 at 33rd. Less than a yard. The fullback, Richardson, gets the first down to the 42, and that should take a couple of minutes off the clock here.
Nobody's going to give him a pass just because it's his 12th start.
Absolutely not. You got to play.
The 41, the rookie Peterson. Matt Toina, who was not on the Bears roster earlier this week, comes in and makes another play. All the guys that they've lost factoring in there. So Steve with the Broncos and the Chargers from San Diego. Jackson, Jeff Dugan, tight end by trade, converted to a fullback. No gain, timeout Bears. Vikings need to get across midfield to the Chicago 49 for a first down. And they fake the throw and run it up the middle of Chester Taylor, who will just be shy of the first down if that mark is right there.
Ooh, I think he may have got it, Mike.
Here tonight, the Bears and Kyle Orton, 2:45, 1 timeout, 90 yards, no running game. Orton to Greg Olsen, the tight end. Gain of three. E.J. Henderson and Chad Greenway make the stop.
Earlier this season, Brian Griese took the Bears down the field against the Philadelphia Eagles. Can Kyle Orton do the same?
Well, they could turn to Griese. He's standing on the sidelines if they want.
Hester didn't know.
Not throw that out.
Hester didn't know what was going on there. Will they go to Devin? No, they'll go underneath. It is caught by Muhsin Muhammad. Down the sideline, out of bounds, gets another play. And the Bear fans in the crowd chant Moose as the former Michigan State Spartan took it to the 34.
That was close to being picked off completely.
Yeah, Charles Gordon went for the interception,
Yeah.
undercut it, and missed. And boy, those are the plays. If you miss it, yeah, could be a big play the wrong way if you're on the defensive side.
Been a long time since Orton's been in a spot like this. He hasn't played in 100 weeks. Pressured. Got rid of it to Hester, who catches it at the 45. It'll be a first down as we hit the 2-minute warning. Chicago trying to save its season, stave off elimination from the playoff race. Kyle Orton hit as he threw, incomplete. The rush comes from Kevin Williams again. And he scored another touchdown last week, his 4 in his Vikings career. And he very well could be in the Pro Bowl mix when that team's announced tomorrow.
Yeah, once again, pressure up the middle. I'll tell you, when you flash in front of the quarterback like that, he's going to be forced to get rid of the football. Good pressure up the middle by the Vikings.
Rough night for quarterbacks.
Yes, it is.
Rough night.
Yes,
Again,
it is. Thank you, Tony.
Donovan McNabb sitting, watching, wondering, what have I bid for me?
Bears have plenty of time here in the whole field, so they are not in panic mode with 156. Orton is letting it go deep downfield for Bernard Berrien. It's intercepted by Darren Sharper. His 53rd career pick, his 4th of the year. Sharper down at the 39, and with one timeout and 98 seconds left, the Vikings are in great shape to move to 8-6. To 8-6. The Minnesota Vikings. Not pretty, but 5 wins in a row. And for the 7th time in 8 years, the team that loses the Super Bowl misses the playoffs the next year.
And falls below 500 in the process.
5 wins in a row. That is very difficult to do. Yes, it was ugly.
Right.
Give Brad Childress some props. Give his football team some props. They're on a little bit of a roll right now. They got to correct that little thing called quarterback play, and they'll be all right.
Series sweep for the Vikings after the Bears swept Minnesota in 2006. Sports